who writes also about her experiences as a mother who's had a nervous breakdown, as an extremely emotional and feeling young woman. And her poems are wonderfully craftsman-like poems, and yet they have a kind of emotional and psychological depth, which I think is something perhaps quite new, quite exciting.
Imagine living in a world where every success feels like a failure, every joyful moment is tainted by an underlying despair, and every day is a battle against an invisible enemy. This was the reality for Sylvia Plath, one of the most brilliant and tragic literary figures of the 20th century. Her semi-autobiographical novel, The Bell Jar, provides an intimate glimpse into her tortured psyche, revealing the depths of her struggles with mental illness. Today I want to take you on a journey through Plath's life, her tragic end, and the profound reflections of her mindset captured in The Bell Jar. Sylvia Plath was born on October 27, 1932, in Boston, Massachusetts. From a young age, she exhibited exceptional talent in writing, publishing her first poem at the tender age of 8.
Sylvia, what started you writing poetry?
I don't know what started me. I just wrote it from the time I was quite small. I guess I liked nursery rhymes, and I guess I thought I could sort of do the same thing. I wrote my first poem, my first published poem, when I was 8 and a half. It came out in the Boston Traveler. And from then on, I suppose I've been a bit of a professional.
Her early life seemed promising, filled with academic success and literary accolades. However, beneath the surface, Plath was already grappling with the seeds of depression that would later consume her. Plath's father, Otto Plath, died when she was just 8 years old, a loss that profoundly affected her. In The Bell Jar, she writes, "I thought how strange it had never occurred to me before that I was only purely happy until I was 9 years old." This statement is a haunting reflection of how her father's death marked the end of her innocence and the beginning of her internal struggles. The loss of a parent at a young age is a theme that resonates in the works of other tragic authors. For example, Franz Kafka, whose father was a dominant and oppressive figure, wrote, "I am made of literature. I am nothing else and cannot be anything else." Kafka's relationship with his father profoundly influenced his work, much like Plath's loss influenced hers. Sylvia's academic journey was nothing short of stellar. She won a scholarship to Smith College and later attended Cambridge University on a Fulbright scholarship. However, her time at these prestigious institutions was marred by her deteriorating mental health. Despite her outward success, Plath felt increasingly isolated and overwhelmed by the pressures of perfectionism and societal expectations. In The Bell Jar, Plath's alter ego, Esther Greenwood, reflects on this pressure. "I was supposed to be having the time of my life. I was supposed to be the envy of everyone, but I just felt numb." This poignant observation captures the dissonance between external achievements and internal turmoil, a recurring theme in Plath's life.
But I must say, I cannot sympathize with these cries from the heart that are informed by nothing except, a needle or a knife or whatever it is. I believe that one should be able to control and manipulate experiences, even the most terrifying, like madness, being tortured, this sort of experience. That one should be able to manipulate these experiences with an informed and intelligent mind.
The feeling of numbness and isolation Plath describes is echoed in the works of other writers who struggled with mental illness. Virginia Woolf, another literary giant, wrote in The Waves, "I am rooted but I flow." Woolf's oscillation between feeling grounded and yet adrift mirrors Plath's own struggles with identity and belonging. Plath's struggles culminated in a suicide attempt in August 1953, an event that she fictionalized in The Bell Jar. Esther Greenwood describes her own attempt with chilling clarity. "It was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and I didn't know what I was doing in New York." This line sets the tone for the novel, underscoring the pervasive sense of disorientation and despair that characterized Plath's mental state.
Do your poems tend now to come out of books rather than come out of your own life?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that at all. I think my poems come immediately out of the sensuous and emotional experiences I have.
The portrayal of ECT in Plath's work brings to mind the writings of Ernest Hemingway, who also underwent the treatment. Hemingway, who ultimately took his own life, wrote, "What is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after." This quote, while not directly about his treatments, reflects his internal moral struggles and the impact of his mental health on his writing. In 1956, Sylvia Plath married the English poet Ted Hughes. Their relationship was passionate and tumultuous, marked by both creative collaboration and intense personal conflict. Plath's letters and journals reveal her deep love for Hughes, but also her growing sense of betrayal as their marriage deteriorated. Hughes's infidelities and their eventual separation contributed to Plath's worsening depression. Despite the personal turmoil, Plath continued to write prolifically. She gave birth to 2 children, Frida and Nicholas, and found moments of solace in motherhood. However, the pressures of balancing her roles as a mother, wife, and writer often overwhelmed her. In The Bell Jar, Esther Greenwood's ambivalence about traditional female roles mirrors Plath's own struggles. "I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest." The complexities of balancing personal ambitions with societal expectations can also be seen in the works of Charlotte Perkins Gilman, author of The Yellow Wallpaper. Gilman wrote, "It is the duty of women to maintain their health and spirits and to avoid hysteria and despondency at all costs." Both Gilman and Plath explored the oppressive nature of societal roles and the impact on women's mental health. The Bell Jar was published in 1963 under the pseudonym Victoria Lucas, a reflection of Plath's apprehension about the novel's reception. The book is a stark exploration of a young woman's descent into mental illness, drawing heavily from Plath's own experiences. Esther Greenwood's narrative is imbued with a sense of claustrophobia and entrapment, symbolized by the metaphor of the bell jar itself. To the person in the bell jar, blank and stopped as a dead baby, the world itself is a bad dream. This metaphor powerfully encapsulates Plath's feeling of being trapped within her own mind, unable to escape the suffocating weight of depression. The novel's vivid descriptions of Esther's breakdown and subsequent recovery attempt provide a visceral depiction of the highs and lows of mental illness. Plath's unflinching honesty in portraying these experiences has resonated with countless readers, offering a rare and candid glimpse into the realities of living with depression. The theme of entrapment is similarly explored in the works of Fyodor Dostoevsky, particularly in Notes from Underground. Dostoevsky's narrator writes, "I say, let the world go to hell, but I should always have my tea." This line encapsulates the sense of resignation and isolation that permeates both Dostoevsky's and Plath's works. In the winter of 1962 to 1963, Plath's mental state reached a breaking point. She was living in London with her children, separated from Hughes, and struggling to make ends meet. Despite the bleakness of her circumstances, she continued to write with feverish intensity, producing some of her most powerful poetry. Her posthumously published collection, Ariel, is widely regarded as a masterpiece, showcasing her profound talent and insight. On February 11, 1963, Sylvia Plath took her own life. She was only 30 years old. Her death was a tragic and premature end to a life marked by both extraordinary talent and unbearable suffering. In the years since her passing, Plath's work has continued to inspire and resonate with readers worldwide. Her legacy is one of unflinching honesty and artistic brilliance, a testament to the enduring power of her voice. The tragic end of Sylvia Plath brings to mind another brilliant yet tortured soul, David Foster Wallace. Wallace, who also struggled with severe depression and took his own life, wrote, "The truth will set you free, but not until it is finished with you." This quote underscores the relentless and unforgiving nature of mental illness, a theme central to both Plath's and Wallace's works. Sylvia Plath's life and work offer a poignant exploration of the complexities of mental illness, creativity, and the human condition. The Bell Jar stands as a powerful testament to her struggles and her resilience, providing readers with a deeply personal and empathetic understanding of what it means to live under the weight of depression. As we reflect on Plath's journey, we are reminded of the importance of compassion and the enduring impact of her words. In the end, Plath's story is not just one of tragedy, but also one of profound courage and unyielding artistry. Through her writing, Sylvia Plath invites us into her world, offering a window into the depths of her mind and the shadows that haunted her. Her legacy is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, we are not alone, and that through understanding and empathy, we can find the strength to carry on. As we continue to read and reflect on her work, we honor the memory of a brilliant mind that, despite the struggles, left an indelible mark on the literary world. If this narrative resonated with you, do support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us to the end. See you in the next video on Plaid Chronicles.